Morning. So even after over 40 years of teaching and training, I still love everything about martial arts. And one of the things that I really love about the martial art that I teach, Dynamic Circle Hapkido, is that we're constantly focusing on flow. So when I was asked to talk at TED, I thought, cool, I'll talk about flow. A couple weeks later, I was down in my studio, and it was after a fitness class, and one of my fitness students came up to me and said, Master Wheaton, I heard you're talking at TED. What are you going to talk about? I said, I'm going to talk about flow. And she looked at me, kind of squinted, and went, huh? What's flow? And I knew I was screwed. So anyway, today I'm going to tell you a little bit about flow, some of the obstacles that get in the way, and hopefully leave you with a couple of tools that may help you stay in the flow. So what is flow? I think first I'm going to show you a little bit of flow from a martial arts perspective. Sensei Andrew, come on out, please. So, typically in hard styles of martial arts, an attack is met with equal or greater force. So, for instance, my original art of Taekwondo, a really devastating art. If somebody threw a punch at you, you would meet that attack with a really hard block. So there's a lot of resistance involved. So what it would look like is the punch would come out, and I would block hard and then counter, okay? We'll do it one more time. Go ahead, sir. I would block hard and then counter. Thank you. Stay there. The art that we teach is very different. The idea is to flow with rather than flow against. In fact, Dynamic Circle Hapkido is defined as flowing integrated ki energy and movement. So now when the attack comes out, rather than meeting it with force, we actually work on joining the energy. Okay? So as that punch comes out, I would intercept that energy, join it, and then really focus on flow. Okay? And we'll do that again. So the punch comes out, I intercept. I join that energy. My energy becomes part of his energy, and I really focus on flow. Sure? We'll do another one a little bit more advanced. The punch comes out, but it's the same. I intercept, my energy joins his, and then I work at flow. So then I can also add a step here, and I can redirect, okay? And we'll do that one more time. That punch comes out, I block. I come here, I can control him here, add a kick, and throw, okay? Thank you, sir. Let's give him a hand, okay? For being a good sport. So the interesting thing is, because I join his energy, I don't have to use any force. There's no struggle. There's no stress. The movement is very, very natural. Flow, right? So I'm sure you all remember the nursery rhyme about flow. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Well, flow is about rowing your boat gently down the stream. Flow is moving with that natural rhythm of the universe. I notice that when I stay in the flow, my life works better. There's less struggle, less stress. There's more life and more energy. I've come to believe that the only way to lead a joy-filled life is by living in flow. I know you've all experienced it, those moments of effortless moving from one thing to another with a feeling of joy and well-being. You feel like you can't do anything wrong. Well, that's being in the flow. So if being in the flow feels so good, why is it that we don't all live there all the time? Right? Yeah? Because of this, right? We overthink things, and that causes stress, fear, resistance, negativity. So, today's a real funny time. So, when I was growing up, okay, there was, I had like a rotary telephone, a mailbox, a back door. If you wanted to get a hold of me, you'd send me a letter. You'd give me a call. I probably wouldn't answer because I'd be outside doing something. Or you'd stop by. That was most likely what would happen. And then when you came by, there was no energy. There was no like expectation of what was going to happen, right? I might be busy. I might not be busy, right? And life went on. But today, with cell phones and emails and texting, the expectation has really changed. I mean, a lot of people really expect you to answer that email, that text, that phone call, and answer it now, right? And we start to have that same expectation for ourselves. And that expectation causes stress, a lot of stress, and that knocks us out of the flow. So the only thing we can do about that, really, is focus on our breath and breathe through it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody stand. I'm going to teach you a breathing exercise that I do. Okay? Kind of keeps me centered. Take your finger and put it in your belly button. Okay? And then, that's your belly button, yes. And then move it down 2 inches. Okay? And in our martial art, we call this our danjun. Kind of loosely translated means house of ki energy. And this is the point that we breathe down to. And so I'm going to have everybody start breathing in through their nose and exhaling through their mouth. And we're just going to do some deep breathing. And now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a balloon under your finger. This is kind of an odd thing, especially for a lot of Americans who walk around with their belly sucked in all the time, right? But we're going to think about a balloon being right under our finger, and as we inhale through our nose, we fill that balloon completely, make a little bit of a fat tummy. And then we open our mouths and we exhale. And again, inhale, fill that balloon, and exhale. And we're going to add to it. We inhale, fill the balloon. Now expand your ribs. Fill this part of your body up, right? So we fill the balloon and we expand. And open your mouths, exhale, collapse those ribs, empty that balloon. And again, we fill the balloon, expand the ribs. Open your mouths, exhale, collapse everything. And now we add one more. We inhale, we fill the balloon. We expand our ribs. We lift our collarbones up, completely fill our lungs. Open your mouths and exhale. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, fill that balloon, expand the ribs, lift the collarbones, open your mouths. And let's do it just one more time with flow. Just inhale, completely fill, and exhale. Excellent. So, as you may have noticed, it's really difficult to think about the phone bill or anything else when you're totally focused on your breath. So it's like a go-to. You can do that at any time, right? You can go ahead and have a seat. Thanks. However, sometimes negativity sneaks in, right? Creeps in, and sometimes it's just impossible to stop thinking about how the heck we're going to pay that damn phone bill, right? Just doesn't want to go away. And that negativity really knocks us out of flow. So we want to try and redirect that negative thought into a positive thought so we can rejoin in flow. So when I very first started training martial arts, I had 3 training partners, and we made this pact that we were going to run 3 times a week till we got our black belt, because all great fighters did road work, and we all wanted to be great fighters. The only problem was I really hated running. Really hated it. So, my buds would come up 3 times a week. They'd stop by my house. We're going to go run up at the track. A lot of times they kind of had to drag me. And I'd start running, and it would be like, man, I really hate this. I really hate this. So for 3 years, I ran and I resisted it. After I got my black belt, I figured it would be a good idea to continue running. So I continued running and complaining. By the time I moved to Honolulu, I had been running and complaining for almost 5 years. And it was one of my very first runs in Honolulu. But in Honolulu, it's easy to get these thoughts, I'm running, and it's like, I just stopped in my tracks and I went, Dave, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Look at what you're doing. You just keep on complaining. You've been doing it for years. And it was like, you either have to change your behavior, stop running, or change your mind, right? And so I started doing this technique that I now call self-brainwashing. I'm running, and I start telling myself, wow, I really love this, right? Yeah, right? And it's. I'd look over at the ocean, I'd say, wow, look at that beautiful ocean. Look at those beautiful mountains. I'm really loving running. I'm staying in shape. I feel great. And after a period of time, I really started to enjoy running. And I love running to this day. More importantly, I really learned how to work with resistance and redirect it and turn it into something positive so I could stay in the flow. So negativity, there's a few things, but negativity and overthinking really knock us out of the flow. All we ever have to do is breathe through it. And if we're getting negative, learn how to redirect it. And remember, just row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, but not across the stream, not up the stream, down the stream. Here's the most important part. Merrily, 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 merrily. So stay in the flow. Go for the ride. Be merry. Thank you. And guys, show the wood. Go. Good. Okay, move over, guys. Okay, let's go. Put smiles on your face. This is fun. Okay. So remember, focus on breath. Still your mind. And lose your fear. Out! Thanks, guys. And thank you. Give him a hand.